I'm Danny DeHeck, aka the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger, here to name and shame anyone running or promoting a Ponzi scheme or a scam. We've got an interesting video for you today, and this will really drive home the point. There's some real suspicious stuff going on with Boomerang. My observer here has, and I have spent hours and hours researching the information that we're about to show you, and we've just ran a test, and it was like fishing, and we've got a bite, and we've got a fish who took the hook. Use of a better word. This is my wallet address, and I've just transferred one USD tether into the WOS wallet, which you can see is turned up in here as a dollar. And why I did that is I actually wanted to give liquidity to the wallet to enable someone to do the transaction, which is fooling people into thinking that they're actually doing arbitrage trading. For the last 3 or 4 days, no one has been able to actually do any trading, except for yesterday when we did this exercise earlier on. By me topping up the wallet address for WOS, the person was able to do arbitrage trading. So I just wanted to prove that this here, we've done this 2 hours ago, but we've left the screen open, is my money going into the WOS wallet. The second one is the list of all the different exchanges that they keep topped up so these transactions can actually happen. So if you put your eye across here, you can see $1.06, and that's my dollar. And I'm going to lose it in a few seconds. But down below, you can see that there's a 010101 because the liquidity wallet is empty. But I've topped it up for them because they're claiming that the reason why no one's doing any trading because they need to wait for everyone to be whitelisted. Well, we disagree with that. Well, I disagree with that. I believe it's because they haven't put any money in the wallets to let the trades go through. So I've done it for them. Next thing we did is we went through and we recorded this originally live, and we asked people to go and test our theory, which isn't a theory because we've proved it. And we said if somebody went to Boomerang and they picked USDT and Rapmatic and did a trade for, let's say, $50, we can work out roughly, well, we can work out pretty much exactly how much money they would get from their arbitrage trade. So if you look here, you can see USDT and Rapmatic. And this isn't the trade because the person that did it would have got different results, and we will show you this in a few minutes. But did you notice it just disappeared? It disappeared not because it went back to the exchange and grabbed the latest results. It just shuffled itself. So if we go down to here, or across to here, you can see that same trade, same amount, exactly the same. And every 30 seconds, these get reshuffled. If I refreshed the page, we would get different results, but they would shuffle all day long. I could sit here until the cows come home and the figures wouldn't adjust. Now, it's just reshuffled again just to prove the point home, and here it is. It's now down the bottom here, and it's the exact same amount. So what we did, we sat here and we refreshed this page for quite a long time because we needed someone to be watching our video. We needed somebody to understand they needed to pick USDT and Rapmatic. We needed someone to understand to only bid $50 of flash loan money because we only had $1 to give away because we're not rich. And we got a bite. And in here, you can see 3 minutes ago, someone come along and they did a transaction. So we were all very excited. Now we want to show you the results. So we've come to the transaction. And as predicted, the person had come along and picked post tether. Oh, have I got that wrong? Oh, no, that's right. USDT and Rapmatic. They had used $50 worth of flash loan money. Now, we've read hundreds of these, but the fourth line, and this is where Rob might be able to help me a bit, but the fourth line is the actual, if the fourth line is less than the third line, you can see they've actually lost, in this transaction, 15 cents has been lost when they've done the borrowing, the purchasing, and I think the fifth line is when they pay the debt back of the loan they borrowed. Now, it might not be...
No, it's not. So line 4, if line 4 is less than line 3, then they lost, And if you look at the bold figures, you'll see they started with 50 and ended up with 49.84.8. So they lost just over 15 cents on the trade, and they pay back the flash loan in line 7, which is where it's got Aave, a USDT token V3.
Down
So
here.
they lost another 2.5 cents on there. And they also lost, obviously, the 49.6 cents that they paid out to the user.
So if you added up all those losses, it would add up to around about 67 cents. So you go back to the liquidity wallet of WOZ, and you can see a transaction here that they've paid out for 67 cents to make it go through. And that is my money, and I want it back. But that's how the transaction works. So hopefully you followed that. If not, you can comment. But we want to give you a little bit more information. So right now, people are still purchasing licenses. There's a bit of a problem going on because they don't want people to go to Boomerang direct and purchase their license. They want them to sign up for We Are All Satoshi, and they're encouraged to buy a $50 sign-up fee, and then you buy your left leg and your right leg. So technically speaking, you need to purchase $150. You need to set up your account spending $150. And then they want you to purchase your Boomerang license within We Are All Satoshi, because the multi-level marketers that are promoting this, and this is why there's a lot of conflict and battles, they're calling us the FUD group, are actually making a profit every time you buy a license or a repurchase a license. And that's some of the terminology you'll hear when listening to the Zoom meetings. But unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but at the moment, the purchasing has slowed right down. But we have actually seen, I have personally added up $250,000 a day being purchased from this wallet. Going into this wallet for purchasing things like We Are All Satoshi memberships and Boomerang licenses. We've also tracked through our experts, $140 million has been paid in and transferred around in this company since the beginning of the year. So I haven't got proof of that myself, but I can certainly back up what I'm saying. So there's a lot of money to be had here. So this is the website. And what we're saying to people, how do they get the market opportunities? How does this come up? Well, if I showed you the website and said, look, you can do this yourself. Now, in the description of this video, there will be the code for you to follow exactly what I'm going to do. All I want you to do is use Chrome, right-click on the screen and go into Inspect. And when you've done that, you'll get a screen that looks similar to this one. So what I want you to do is you'll land on Elements, then you want to click on Sources. You want to use the drop-down bar, and you want to click on Static, and you want to go down to JS. JS will bring up a whole lot of files that you don't recognize, but you want to be looking for one called Opportunities. So you click on Opportunities, and then what you'll find is you'll see all the market opportunities listed here in red. That is what's creating this look here. And as I said, they shuffle. Now, we're not going to, this is only a 5-minute, 10-minute video, but they will reshuffle every 12, I forgot, however long. Well, there's 12
Every half a
opportunities.
minute, every 30
half a
seconds.
minute. They used to have a beach ball so people could think that was doing something special, but they don't do that anymore. And the most you'll ever see, now if this is real arbitrage trading, why is it limited here to have the maximum percentage is 1.3 and the minimum is 0.252? So that's showing you that where they're getting this figure from. Now that wouldn't be logical for it to only be limited to 1.3, and why would it be so consistent? So that's quite alarming in itself. Now, the other thing we wanted to show you was when you get paid out the money, and this person here has traded $50 Tether to Rapmatic, and they've been paid out 50 cents. This mathematical sum seems to be coming from another place in the website. So if you go back to the back end of the website and look for main, because we found there was a transaction that kept coming up all the time. And every time somebody bid, I think it was around about $100, and you multiplied it by 1.277, you could just predict how much was going to get paid. And that enabled us to find a line of code in the website. It was actually 250,000 characters or 35 words. And we could literally go through here and see what this code is actually doing. So without going on too much, you can see Rapmatic and Sand. Rapmatic and Sand. I think I just undid that. Yeah, it did. I just slid that over there. So Rapmatic and Sand, if somebody was to bid between $1 and $46, the percentage would be 1.3. And if somebody was then to bid $46 to $90, the percentage would then go down to 1.2888. And we've actually copied this code and grabbed chunks of it and put it into ChatGPT and asked them to put it in a nice, pretty table. And literally, the people are saying, well, I don't want to bid $150. I'm going to bid $50,000 worth of flash loan money in one hit. But if you did that, there isn't a mathematical equation in here for large amounts. I think the most we've actually seen bidded is about $1,500. And if you did bid $1,500, then you will find that you'll get lower percentages. So what I believe they're doing is they're actually keeping those. They want you to trade $50, $100, and $150 because then they will only drip feed so much money back to you. And it's a Ponzi scheme, in my opinion. Not Rob's, but so then we started investigating some other real strange things that were going on. Currently, we're tagging every single member that goes in there and tries to do a trade. We're seeing a lot of patterns, but one of the funniest ones, well, not funny because we know it's people's money, was tracking one of these ones. And it was 65 days ago when I'm doing this video, and we called him Top Trump. Now, Top Trump had discovered what we discovered, and I think he was manipulating the results. So this guy, who's meant to be doing real arbitrage trading, had come along and he traded 98 cents. He'd lost in the trade, I don't know, 8, 16, 26 cents. He hadn't paid any fees because it was too low, but he got paid out $879. This is real arbitrage trading. How would that actually happen? But somebody realized their script that we might have just shown you, and they've started fudging the results. Here's another one, $13 he invested, $1,422. Then we did $3.26, and he made a whopping $1,700. Then he traded $1 and made $1,400. He traded $11 and made $1,280. He then did a really unusual one. I'm not sure how he did this, but it says $6.31 over here, but on the day it was 0.001, and that made him $1,400. $1 again, $1,245, 72 cents, $959, $13, and then he made $941. $1 and he made $1,344, $1 and he made $1,050. And then the last one we saw was $3.26 and he made $1,859. Now we've actually asked these guys who are behind this to actually come on here and explain why they still believe this is true arbitrage trading. If we're lost in our ways and we've been labeled FUD groups, we want to know the answers to these questions. We're inviting you, Shavis, to come onto our Zoom and explain to us what we have wrong. And I think that really sort of, have you got anything else that you think I should add into that, Rob?
No, just a few little points here is that because you stuck money into the OX33 account, then you know it is actually the OX33 account that is being used. So I guess the question for people is whether trades go through or not determined on whether the DAP is open or shut? Is it determined by whether an arbitrage opportunity exists or not? Or is it determined by whether or not there is any money in the OX33 account in the asset in which you're trading on the left-hand side? That would be the key thing. And as for those volumes, top amounts of trades, is that, yes, $1,500 seems to be the limit that seems to go through. And that could be correlating to the fact that $1,500 was one of the higher figures for assets being in that 0x33 account. And in that code where it's got the profit percentages, it seems to go up to 5,000. Just putting that out there.
So I spend about 70 or 80 hours of my week streaming, researching, looking, listening to videos. And every time anyone asks any questions like this, we've had a guy by the name of Mark who's come in here and he's asked questions. Carl Miller actually said that they've known about these scripts from day one, which was a real big surprise to all of us. And then the same guy went into another support meeting maybe the next day and he asked Joe, about this, and he had never heard of it. And he'd never seen this before. So there's a lot of inconsistencies. But we're not really here to ruin everyone's day. But there's a few things like, when you think about it, if there's an exchange out there that has 1% or 1.3% fluctuation in their price, my opinion is, wouldn't these exchanges fall over? Because wouldn't somebody exploit this a lot sooner? And I thought arbitrage trading was millions of dollars trading between one entity and another. Rob's explained it in the past quite good. He says it's like taking a bunch of bananas that's selling cheap from one shop and taking it to another shop and selling it before they find out the market price has changed. And then the money in between is your profit. But when you're talking internet and these exchanges, we're talking milliseconds. But if you can sit here and have a trade open from a website all day long and it just keeps shuffling the trades, and then you click on it and go away and do what you think is because they're telling you that these market results that you see on the website, you have the privilege to click on the one you want to pick, and then it will go away and do the trade and come back and pay you money that came from the exchanges, not from the back end of the website. Now, you know that I've been all about busting Ponzi schemes and scams, and there's a lot of things that are strange. And just to break down the people that might have just watched this video, you were encouraged to buy a $10,000 license at one point. They would give you $50,000 worth of flash loan money to play with, and you could have a play. And the most I ever saw anyone get out of that $50,000 flash loan was $800. And then since then, this has been ready to launch for the last, as we're recording this video, I think we're on day 59. It was meant to be the 1st of March, and it's currently the 29th of April, and this still hasn't been released. They claim they've sold 60,000 licenses. That's $30 million if you haven't been keeping up current events on the minimum. And now they're claiming that people will get 3 times their return on their investment back. How's that possible? Have you got any points? Leave a comment below. Comment on our videos. But hey, thanks, Rob, for backing me up and being my wingman. I think we haven't missed too much. If you've got any questions, just post it below. What do you think, Rob?
Brilliant. Summed it up.
And is it a boomerang or a stick?
Woof.
And so it's good night from me, and it's good night for him. Do you want to do your meow, Rob?
Meow.